So, strangely enough, a lot of people have been asking me, how do I make friends while traveling? Now, mind you, I don't really be out here making friends like that, okay? I like to be by myself. Also, it's hard to make friends is really, really hard. I saw this video the other day about a girl who was saying your friends can't be everything to you. You have friends who serve a purpose. They're only going to be for a season. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. My friends, I want my friends to be riders. Okay? I'm a good friend. I deserve good people around me. I like reciprocal energy. All of this for a season business? No. You need to fulfill you need multiple hats. You need to have all the hats on if we're going to be friends. Okay? I need a lot. If you can't give me what I need, you on the chopping block. Sorry. So, yes, I'm an introvert, but it does get lonely when you're traveling by yourself. Okay? You're traveling by yourself. You in all of these different environments. Sometimes they don't even speak English. I don't know any other language. All right? I am ashamed that I don't speak any other language, but I blame the American society for that. All right. Also, I'm lazy and all this other stuff. I studied a lot of languages growing up, but it just never took hold because as you get older, you don't really need it and whatever. So it can get really intimidating having to go out into the world on your own, right? So there are days when I definitely get kind of lonely. And when I have those days, I put forth an effort to try to build relationships. For starters, I try to connect with Black women. As a Black woman, it is so important for me to build community with people who look like me, right? No matter what your cultural background is, no matter where you're from, I want to be around people who look like me. I prioritize those relationships. So any place I am, I try to find people who look like me and connect with them. So here's 5 ways you as an introvert can make friends while traveling. Number 1, the apps. Okay. Now this list isn't in order of effectiveness. There's not one thing that's better than another. These are just things that I've tried, and if it worked for you, good. If it don't, it don't. All right. So number 1, apps. Bumble BFF. Okay. Bumble BFF. I'm sorry to say it. Because as an introvert, I'm not going to come up to you. 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to come up to you. And you're not going to come up to me. So how are we supposed to be friends? Online, right? Online, through text. Through text. And we're going to text each other for a while before it gets comfortable. All right? I've also had luck finding people on TikTok, strangely enough, because it just happens. Another thing would be, actually, I'm gonna make this number 2. So whenever I go to a new place, I make it a point to join the Facebook group, something like expats in blank city, right? Or Black in blank country. So that way I can connect with people who I identify with. So Americans or people who aren't native to that country I'm going to, Black women in particular. I always want to link with those people because we already have a common interest. We decided to get up and travel and go to a new place. Regardless of what the reasoning was, we did that. So we have a common interest, and it's easier to form connections with those people. Also, when you're going into a new place, it's nice to pair with somebody who kind of already has an understanding of the language and the culture or whatever it is. Next, number 3, speaking of language and culture, find a local to connect with, right? So this is a little bit more challenging. 9 times out of 10, I just kind of happen upon people. And they may have caught me on a day where I'm slightly more extroverted than normal, which is abnormal. So I'll be like, let's exchange WhatsApp information. And then I make a new friend. And usually a friend date only consists of like coffee, right? Or maybe we do an activity, maybe we go to a place that I've never been to. Chances are if it's a new country, I've never been there. So this is a really good way to get you out of your comfort zone and also get you to places that may not even be on your itinerary list. Like tap into that local vein and chat, like pull yourself out of your bubble, right? And chat with people who are from the place that you're visiting. And that way you can find these sort of like insights into the place that you're staying. I'm saying that, but I don't always do that, right? Because I'm like, I don't really like talking to people. So it's like, there are some days when I'm like extroverted beyond belief. And then there are other days when I'm just like, no, don't talk to me. No, I don't want to talk to you. Ooh, you're chatty. Ooh, get away. Why are you speaking to me? Like I don't want to be spoken to. Sorry. That's just how I am. And I think, be kind to yourself, be gracious to yourself, and understand that like this is a process, and it's not always gonna be like, growth isn't linear. So like some days aren't gonna be easy for you. I would say I'm like 10 times farther along than I was probably like 2-3 years ago. I remember when my therapist was like challenging me to go sit and have dinner by myself. Now I only have dinner by myself. My therapist used to be like, but I mean, challenge yourself as much as you want to, right? Somebody said to me, decide how much you want to grow that day, and then just take it in stride, right? Like take it minute by minute, take it hour by hour. Like be kind and gentle to yourself, because you all you got, right? You all you got. So anyways, another thing that I do, and this is gonna seem really corny. This is gonna seem really, really corny. I never thought this would be on the list. Connect with other Americans. Now, preferably Black, just cause. But I found, so there was a period where I had just left Spain. So like for me, Spain was like kind of intimidating. Mind you, I didn't really like Barcelona. I'll probably talk about that a little bit later. But it was just a little difficult. Like, I have what I call rudimentary survival Spanish, right? Just the time I spent in Texas, I got a little bit. While I was there, I was in Spain for 2 months. I was taking Spanish classes, so I could struggle through some things, right? There was that. There was the challenge of having to get up and go outside every day and struggle to communicate. And then I got to Albania, and it's the same kind of situation where like, yeah, a lot of people speak English, a ton. But I have come into contact with people who don't speak English. And so I've had to like do that thing where like you have Google Translate open and you're trying to communicate, and then like my app, for whatever, sounds like and I don't know why it's doing that. Or maybe I'm talking to an older person, I'm trying to get them to speak into the microphone, but they don't understand that you're supposed to go when the thing turns, like when it makes that bloop bloop sound, and then you're supposed to start talking, and they're talking too quickly, and like Google Translate can't pick it up to tell me what they're saying in English. It's like there are certain things that trigger that anxious feeling of like, okay, I'm in a new place. I'm having to sort of navigate a new space with people who don't, who I may or may not be able to communicate with, right? Every time I go outside. And a lot of times you just want to stay indoors. Okay, I don't want to deal with that. The most I can do today is order some food via my Bamboo delivery driver, who may or may not speak English. And then the difficult part is just me telling him that GPS doesn't work here, and can he come a little bit further to meet me at my place, and then handing him the money, and then it's done with. That's the most I have to engage with people. There are times when like, I just can't do it, right? And so like, be kind to yourself and acknowledge like when those moments happen. Today is just not going to be the day that you have to do it. Like, you don't have to, right? You don't have to. So to go back to my point, find another American, right? And part of that is because that's a person who is literally in your exact same situation. Because like as an American, they most likely don't know another language. They're most likely here just visiting as a tourist. And I came to this conclusion because I stumbled upon a place, right? So when I was in Albania, there's this place called Bitter Bistro, Bitter. And it's owned by an American from Texas. And so I was sitting there by myself and I was having mimosa. It was delicious. And he and I started chatting. And it was just so nice to be able to talk to somebody, and even just like, we weren't even, it wasn't even that big of a deal, but it's just like after not having connection for so long, it was just really nice to connect with somebody who had been in a place where I grew up. We were listening to country music together. I love Luke Combs. I'm a huge country fan. And so we had that common interest, and it wasn't, this person is not my friend, even though I did go to the restaurant. I went to that restaurant several times while I was there. But it was so nice to just have something familiar, right? So like, it's important to connect to the things that you're used to. It's okay. Like, even though you're in a new place, if they got Pizza Hut, order yourself a pizza. If they got McDonald's, girl, get yourself some fries. Like, you're challenging yourself so much by being in a new place that sometimes it's like, it might be unnecessary to like keep pushing yourself. Like, you're gonna burn yourself out from traveling if you constantly have to be elevating yourself all the freaking time. You don't have to. Chill out.